All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. This is usually what I do for the RLZ Trading Room members. Today, we're doing live on YouTube and talk about the crypto and forex market. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I'm Libs42, and on this channel, we do live trading sessions and educational content. I'm a professional forex and crypto trader. If you're looking for trading advice and you're looking to see how I trade using my swing trading system, you are free to subscribe to the channel and like the video if you like the content. All right, welcome everyone. This is a gold long that we are in currently. It did not hit TP1 on Prime XBT, unfortunately, but it did hit TP1 on the funding account that I'm trading. So I'm going to mark this as a winner for my personal account, but not as a winner for the trade signals in the trading room. So what I'm going to do today is I want to go through the markets and do a market scan. I'm going to start with the Forex market, and then I'm going to go through the crypto market. And after that, we're going to be looking at a trading system that we have that I'm, whenever I have the time, because I got a lot of stuff going on, but whenever I have the time, I'm taking some time to backtest this idea. And the idea started like 2 weeks ago with me talking about how I wanted to develop a system and show how you can develop a fairly simple trading strategy and be profitable trading that as well. So I'm showing you the process. It's not really that complicated, right? And that's what I want to show, that the actual technical analysis part and all of that of trading is not really that complicated. The complicated part is when you have a system and you actually start trading that system. All right, so gold is the long that we're in currently. I have my stops at entry for this one, and we had a long on NCDCHF, but exited that one. I don't like how this is looking, right? So what we entered on that bounce here, and I kind of looked for something like this, right? But now it looks like we're kind of entering a range here on the 4 hour. And if you go to the daily, you'll see that there's a high time frame resistance area here as well. So we're kind of like testing. We're printing a range here on the 4 hour inside a high time frame daily resistance area, and to the downside here, it actually looks like a good daily level to retest, where you also have the daily 20 EMA. So it kind of feels like it's going to break down and test that level. So I've exited this trade to secure that risk. Let's go through the list number one. I have two lists. I have the first list and the second list. If you've been following me for a while, you know what this is. The first list is the list with the most interesting coins or the most interesting pairs in the forex market. And the second list is the pairs which have interesting trends and interesting movements, but no obvious trade as of yet. So let's go through the first list. I think the first list is the only interesting one here. AUD NCD, you can see it's in a beautiful downtrend right here, using the weekly open as support right here. If we can break below this support level, we might be in for a break and retest of that support level if the system aligns, but that's currently what I'm watching on AUD NCD. Okay, Euro CAD is just it's a beautiful option right here. I wish I would have gotten the chance to enter this trade. We had an idea a couple of weeks ago about entering this, but the reasoning for not entering this trade was the fact that we had that massive daily resistance area. I didn't really feel comfortable trading right into that high time frame resistance, but this would have been a good entry, a good trade. Would have hit last TP, would have been quite a profitable trade right here. But then again, we have to just because it worked out this time doesn't mean it's going to work out every time. So when you see price hitting that high time frame resistance, maybe not the best idea to go long. But I like this candle. That's a good 4-hour pin bar ish type of candle right there. So if I would have taken this trade, probably would have taken it like this, and that would have been a 2.4R winner. So the reason why I have this on the first list now is because it's just such a beautiful trend right here, and I'm just thinking that it might be a good idea to keep this on the radar to see if this trend continues. So that's Euro CAD. We got Euro AUD. Now, what I'm liking about Euro AUD. So let's begin with what I'm not liking about Euro AUD. So if you look at the daily, well, it's I quite like it. You have a decent level here on the daily. It's looking pretty good on the daily. It is, however, if you zoom into the 4 hour, you'll see that it's quite a it's kind of reminds me of a range, right? Which I'm not really a huge fan of. But let's see if we can add some fibs here. See if we can make something out of this. It's actually it actually did test the 0.618 here. It did test the moving averages. It's reclaiming the 50. So maybe there's actually something tradable here, even though that it's in a massive range. I don't know if I had to take a trade on this, I would definitely use that level as TP1 to kind of secure the trade. The 4 hour is going to close in 45 minutes. I'm probably going to be watching this at the 4 hour close. And, this might be a decent setup. I mean, the risk to reward is very, very good on this one. We might be able to have even have a stop loss all the way down here. That would be 1.24. So we could actually have it stop loss all the way down here below the weekly open. And because of the fact that we have a very wide stop loss, we have the time to monitor this trade more carefully. So this is actually quite interesting trade right here. And I'm going to move that up to the top of the first list. And then we have GBP AUD, which is showing a similar price structure. And GBP AUD, if you compare it to Euro AUD, it's in a overall clearer local uptrend, right? So you can see it's a more clear uptrend right here. And it's kind of like it's reclaiming the weekly open here. It's looking fairly interesting here, I would say. But if we go down to the 1 hour, and you can clearly see that there's a resistance area here. You would like to see a reclaim of that resistance area, and the trade would probably be based on the break and retest of that level. Now let's see if there's any good fib levels here, and I do like this. The price is bouncing nicely inside the reload zone. It would be a break and retest of the 50% fib. The actual trade will look something like this. The risk to reward would not be as good as Euro GBP. I mean Euro AUD. What you could do is enter with 0.5% risk on this one and 0.5% risk on that one if it confirms. But those right now, some of the most interesting ones, and because of the fact that we're going long on Euro AD and GBP AD, maybe it means that we're basically shorting the Australian dollar. So if we're looking at AUD NCD, we'd be looking for shorts, right? And this was the idea that we talked about, a break and retest of this level. Now that's going to mean we have double exposure to AUD, so you have to limit and manage the risk before entering that one as well. Euro CAD, that's the trend we looked at. Same on GBP CAD. We got NCD CAD right here. Very good example of a trade here. Now, unfortunately, we didn't take this trade because well, first of all, it confirmed quite late, so I didn't really have the time to enter the orders for this one. But this is an interesting Definitely an interesting trade. This goes straight into the RLC playbook actually. So I'm gonna add this to the RLC slingshot playbook, which is just it's a pretty big product I'm working on, which kind of shows a breakdown of the it's a big product that I'm working on that shows the breakdown of the RLC slingshot swing trading system and everything. It's gonna be really cool to offer that to the trading program members. NCD/USD. This was a trade we looked at yesterday, which I took the NCD CHF trade instead. It's a bad idea. Bad idea. This would have been a winner already. So I wish I took that trade instead. But it is what it is. It's a good reminder of maybe it would make sense to sometimes actually enter those double exposure positions where you enter two trades on two pairs with one of the same currencies, right? So you could enter the NCD USD long and the NCD CHF long, but with half the risk on each, right? That's NCD USD. We get USD CAD. Interesting. AD CAD. Well, so we looked at the break and retest of this level and it worked out, but that was just not a setup, right? So that would have not been a decent entry, unfortunately. It would have been something interesting on the 1 hour though, but we usually don't trade the 1 hour. We stick with the 4 hour. Euro USD also a very interesting trade here. Now the fact that the reason why I didn't take this trade was because of the weekly open. Like I would wanted to have the weekly open a bit higher, and if we would have the weekly open a bit higher, I could have taken some profits at the weekly open. But you can see how that long signal kind of alerted us to this being something interesting, and that long signal right there definitely confirmed this as a trade. And if you add low time frame reload zone here as well, you'll see that candle right there that printed the long signal also hit the 50% fib of the lower time frame move. So that's a good fib confluence there as well. So let's move on. CAD CHF moving lower rapidly. Good downtrend right here. I'm hoping that we can get some nice rounded retrace on this one to enter. GBP USD coming down to that level. This might be an interesting trade, but stochastic R size way too high on this one. Silver, I kind of wish I took the silver long instead of the gold long, because silver has now ran much higher, but it is what it is. We can't time all the trades perfectly. And that's it for the Forex pair. So right now, the ones I'm watching is, I would say, Euro AD, GBP AUD, and AUD NCD is the ones I'm watching closely. So let's see if we can actually add can I add like just a separator? I want to do that. I want to add this. This is something new I'm starting with. So this is section 1, and in section 1 there's 2 sections in section 1, which the ones which are like very interesting are those 3, and then I could probably do this, right? So 1, 2, and so I would do 1, 2. Why is it 1, 2, 3? All right, let's do it 3 here. 3 and 2. Right, so 1, 2, 3. Instead of having 1 and 2, I now have 1, 1, 2, 3, because they kind of self-explanatory. Open trades, and by the way, these watches they are available public. You can go to my newsletter, subscribe to the newsletter, and you're going to get access to the backtesting template and these watch lists. So let's look at the altcoin market. Let's go through the prime XBT ones here. I've actually already did that. So the ones I think are most interesting are. Look at this. That was actually really good long signal we got on Monero. I'm surprised that Monero is so strong. I'm actually quite surprised about that. It's really looking good. So for Monero, that's the level we want to see a retest of. So if you go down into the lower time frames. By the way, guys, if you like what you're seeing here, and now we're starting with the crypto stuff here, hit that like button. And if you want to get notified for more live trading sessions, you should hit that subscribe button as well. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to go to my scalping account here on PrimeXP, and I want to try to get in a trade in the crypto market. It's a very low time frame trade, and I'm actually thinking that maybe Monero is a good candidate for that, because I really like what I'm seeing right here. So I think Monero might actually be a good candidate for a scalp long, a low risk, I mean a high risk scalp. I would be able to perhaps trade that up to this or that level right there. So let's see if we can actually get a, let's look at the spreads here. It's important to make sure that the spreads are good. Well, pretty good. I guess it works. So that would be TP. I'm thinking this would just be a a 1 hour trade or something like that right there. So if I buy here, we're gonna get, it's kind of getting away from us though. I want to, right, so let's look at the 1 minute here. Damn it. Doesn't it suck when you watch a trade and you're like, that sounds like that looks like an interesting trade, and as soon as you see it, it just starts moving away from you. But that would be the trade. So let's see. That would be entry. Stop loss would probably be down here. So that would be a little bit more than 1 hour. So let's try this out. It's gonna be our entry. Got the stop loss. Oh, that's the to take profit, and then we have the stop loss down here. All right, so let's do. That's not. How is that even possible? Buy here, take profit up here. And stop loss. Oh, right, I had the wrong stop loss order. All right, so let's just try this, see how it works out. Obviously, it's just way too small of, like, the trade is just way too much of a scalp, and I have too little capital in this account to do these low time frame scalps. Usually what I do when I scalp on this account is I try to find trades which are more based on the swing trading system, but I find scalp entries on the swing trading system. It's more of an experiment account. It's like I'm trying to forward test a scalping entry to the overall swing trading system. So see how that works out though. Very risky trade, obviously. Right, so let's go and look at the rest of the altcoins right here. So we got Algo. So XMR looks like obviously a good long here, but I'm thinking that it might come down and test that level right here, which is the 100 to 45. Then we have Algo, which I quite like for potential short, right? So if you add the fibs from that high down to that low, you'll see that they have a pretty decent resistance area here, conflict with the 50% fib. So For algo, I have an alert here at that level as well, and I kind of like it as a possible short. I believe Bitcoin is trading at the range highs of this low time frame range here as well. I come up and test the higher time frame range right here. Definitely a possibility. That happens, XMR will probably break out and give us some pretty good moves to the upside. And if we get rejected here, then the algo trade might work as a short. Then we have ADA, which is actually right now testing the what I would say is the best possible point of entry for a short. And you can see right here that we looked at this in the community a couple of days ago, where we had, the low of that move right there. And we not predicted, but we said, if price comes up and tests this area right here with the moving averages being in this area, the 4 hour moving averages, this might be a good short on Cardano. So if you think Bitcoin is going to move lower, if you think this is the local high for Bitcoin and we're going to move lower, which it's a high probability that we move lower down here or even down here. If that happens, Cardano is in a very good area for a short. If you want to scalp this, right? If you want to try to get as good entry as possible. Now remember, this is on the 4 hour. So let's say if you enter this based on the 4 hour at current prices, you want that to be TP1 down there, and you want to make sure that TP1 is 1 hour, and even with a very wide stop loss, you can get that. Now, if you want to get try to get a scalping, I would recommend having your stop loss around this area and then waiting for better confirmation on, let's say, the 1 hour or maybe even the 15 minutes. And if you look at the 1 hour, the 50% fib right here aligns quite nicely with a support and resistance area. So if you add the low, connect these areas, you get this, right? And now what you can do is you can wait for price to break this structure to the downside, have an even tighter stop loss. So what you want to do is you want to wait for price to break the structure to the downside and then perhaps retest that level. That would be your entry. And then the trade here becomes quite good. If you follow my TP strategy, this would be around 3.5 hour trade. So what you're doing is you're basically getting a scalp entry on a swing trade. So that's something to watch. So ADA is currently the most interesting altcoin to short, in my opinion. So we got this one, which is probably going to give us a pretty decent long idea. But this is, I'm removing that one. It makes no sense anymore. BNB, also not very interesting anymore. There's not a lot of altcoins out there, which is actually, interesting. I like AVAX bouncing on the monthly open right here, the monthly open level. I'm thinking if this trend continues, we're probably going to see a move up to the weekly open, which is 13.94 right here. And this one I'm removing as well. EGLD gave us an absolutely beautiful long signal here on the RLZ slingshot system. Unfortunately, I was not available when I got that signal, but I remember tweeting about this. If we bounce here, we're probably going to see a move up to 47, where we also have the daily 50 EMA, which is this gray dotted line right here, which, it worked out quite well. So I don't know, I'm keeping this on the list just to check how this works out. Theta, decent downtrend, but I'm not sure about that one. I'm removing that one. Litecoin, I don't know. I'm just having this on because I want to monitor this. But right now, I would say that the most interesting ones, right, I'm removing the orders for this trade right here. It's not valid anymore. So I would say that the two for me, the two most interesting outcomes right now is a potential short on Cardano if Bitcoin gets rejected at the current resistance area, or a long on Monero. All right, so let's get into the actual testing, and let's talk about how we can develop trading strategies. All right, so what I do is I have I always have like a folder on Google Drive. You can see I have the back testing folder right here, and inside this back testing folder I have more folders with specific back testing ideas, right? And what we're going to do now is we're going to go into this one, which is called Pure PA, which also says, new system. We're going to go into the backtesting template right here, which is this one here. And if you want to get access to this backtesting template, what you need to do is you want to go to Twitter or look at the description of this video and sign up to the newsletter. By doing that, you'll get access to this indicator. It will be sent to you as a welcome message when signing up to the newsletter. If you are already signed up to the newsletter, I will include this in the newsletter that will be sent out today. All right, so as you can see right here, I've already began testing this on NCD USD. And what we want to do now is we want to go to the backtesting chart layout. We can see if we can find it right here. I have lots of backtest. Is this old ones? Maybe it's pure PA. Or pure PA break and retest 1 hour. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's gonna be this one. So I had different, obviously I had different chart layouts for different backtesting sessions. And we can go back here and we can look at, you see here that I have all the trade examples on here. And I want to show you something interesting. Look at the results of this. Right now we have on NCD/USD, we have 22 trades. And if you look at the overall results on this backtesting session here with all the trades I've taken, and I'm going to explain that, this is not the results we're looking for, but all the trades that we have taken, and then we organize it by looking at different conferences, right? So the overall win rate is 40%, and the cumulative R is 5.8, which is, it's profitable. It's not terrible. What I like, however, is when I add these confluences. So confluence number one is the entry inside the reload zone or on the 50%. Is there a golfing candle? Is the 4-hour stochastic RSI and the 1-hour stochastic RSI in the right location? If they are, you'll see here that confluence number one, all the trades that hit reload zone or the 50% has a 47% win rate and higher cumulative R, which tells us that the trades taken inside the reload zone or on the 50% fib adds a lot of confidence to the system. And confidence 2 also increases the system, and confidence 3 also increases the win rate, while confidence 4 is the one which increases the win rate less. But the interesting part is this. What happens when they all align? When all confidence indicators tells us that each of the 4 confidence indicators tells us that they're confident with entry. When that happens, you have an 80% win rate. So the win rate is double, right? The problem is there's only 5 trades. So by using this system, if you want to get a very high win rate, you're going to be looking at lower amount of trades. But that doesn't really matter, because what's interesting here is the win rate and the cumulative R. And the win rate is 80% and the cumulative R is 8.8. So the risk, the reward on this, and the average R is 1.8. So the reward is much higher. So you're making much fewer trades. Instead of taking 25 trades, you're only taking 5 trades. But the win rate is much higher and the risk reward is much, much higher. It's almost a double reward and it's double the win rate. So when you have a win rate of 80%, you have a really good entry strategy. And let's see, I can't remember exactly what I should have noted this, but I believe that, yeah, okay, so the idea is this. The overall idea that I'm testing is I'm not using the moving averages, right? So this is a big difference from the swing trading system that I'm trading today, which is the RLZ slingshot system, which I've been trading for years, which I'm really happy with. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to test another type of system, not only to show you guys that it's possible to create a fairly simple system and trade it profitably, but I'm also looking to perhaps add another trade setup to my arsenal so that I can have different setups to trade and look at, because I do feel that the last year in the new conditions that we are with, increasing interest rates and that sort of stuff, it's fewer trades. Like, the system is giving me fewer trades. So I would like to kind of fill in the gaps here with possibly a new setup. So the idea is simple, very simple. We don't care about the overall trend by looking at the daily moving averages or the 4-hour moving averages. I mean, we don't really care about the moving averages as entry and exit points. We only really care about this. If there is a level, if price breaks it to the upside, if it gets retested right here, we want to take the trades. We're going to take all the trades where there's a break and retest of a level, right? And the idea with the backtesting is to see, are these trades, do they have better or worse win rate when we add those confluences, right? And one confluence that I'm watching is engulfing candles. Is there engulfing candle? Is the reaction happening inside the reload zone on the 50? Is the stochastics RSI in agreement on the 4-hour and or the 1-hour on the setup? And we then look at the results, right? We could then also with the results, with the different win rates and the different with the different win rates and the different R of these different confluences, we could be trading the same system in different ways with different risk approaches depending on which of the indicators are confluence, if that makes sense, right? So if all the indicators is confluent, we have an 80% win rate. So having an 80% win rate, maybe we can risk 2% per trade. When some other indicators, which gives us 50% win rate, well, maybe we can risk 1%, right? So depending on what indicators are confluent at the time of entry, we can adjust the risk. Now, that is a dynamic risk approach that I've never used before in trading. All the time when I used the dynamic risk approach, it's been a failure because I'm trading one system and one entry trigger. But when you have different entry triggers and you know the statistics of those, it makes sense to have a dynamic risk approach based on the win rate and the risk to reward of the setups. So what we're going to do now is we're going to select a new pair and we're going to do the exact same testing once again. I'm going to go back and see, where did this start? So the beginning of the year, it seems like the NCD/USD testing was from the beginning of the year. So let's make a copy of the original, and then what are we going to test? We want to perhaps test let's test Euro JPY. We're going to test Euro JPY. We're going to go back to the January 1st. Gonna use the replay function? I don't know. Maybe we should. Yeah, we should probably use the replay function. Yeah, because I'm gonna be switching from between the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frame. And when you switch between time frames and you're looking at historic price data, you always go to the most recent price data, and it's very annoying. So we're gonna be using the replay function to make sure that doesn't happen. So January the 1st, this is when we are starting the back testing. And I'm seeing the first level right here, which is this area right here. If we bounce in that area, we are going to take a trade. That never happened, obviously. So we'll continue. I'm not going to be adding the horizontal levels on the chart because it's, for me, it's just so obvious. And whenever I add a level, I have to remove it. So it just takes extra time. So we want to be quick here. Again, I'm only checking the 4 hour. Do we have a rejection here? No. All right. That's another level. So I'm liking this, right? So let's add the fibs here. And the TP strategy here is simple. We're just gonna TP at the first trouble area, which is this level right here. So that's gonna be TP. Now you look at this right here, and that was the candle that we looked at. Is that also a candle? Not really in alignment with the stochastics RSI. But that would be the short, and then this would be a 1.89R trade. So let's see if this works out. That's a winner. That's let's do 1.89. 1.89, and the first confluence is the RLZ plus 50. Yes. The second confluence is the engulfing. Yes, we had an engulfing. What about the 1 hour stochastic RSI at the time of entry? The 1 hour stochastic RSI is not confluence. You want the 1 hour stochastic RSI to be above 70, so that is not confluence. The 4 hour stochastic RSI, that was confluent, right? Yes, so we'll add that a 1. And I want to optimize this backtesting template to not only show me the confluence where when everything is a 1, I would like to be able to check the different confluence as if only 1 and 2 is confluent, for example. But let's move on here. All right, and we want the retest, the break and retest. It's going to be a clean rounded retest, like I always say. Let's say wait for a bullish candle here. No, nothing. That's a pretty good candle, and it's a level here as well. So I'm going to try to kind of explain what I'm doing here. I'm basically ignoring the high time frame trend. I have no idea what the high time frame trend is. Now, people always say, trade with the trend, which is true, right? But this is not necessarily a trend following system. This is not a trend following system because I'm taking profits down here, right? So it could be developing a range here, and I don't really care because I'm taking profits when it moves like this, right? And here I'm taking profits, so I'm not letting the trades run. I'm not getting an entry and then just letting it run. I'm taking full profits. It's 1 position, 1 entry, 1 stop loss, and 1 take profit, which is a huge difference from the current system that I'm trading, where you basically have 4 take profits, which is in alignment with the overall trend. So here you have a 4 hour bullish, 4 hour bearish engulfing candle, and it's hitting the 50% fib. You're gonna have stop loss above that wick right there, and then TP is going to be at these lows. So it's going to be 1.43R trade. Now we know that if everything aligns, it's on NCD/USD over the course of a year, had an 80% win rate. Now, you might hear 80% win rate, you're gonna be like, oh, that's amazing. It's never gonna be 80% win rate, and it's never gonna be that good in live trading, right? So we need to make sure we are clear on that. So let's front run that level. So let's see what happens here. All right, so it's a TP on that one. So it's let's say 1.3 R on that one. And of course, you see that the profits here is 1.9 and 1.3. You usually hear that you want to make sure that your TP is 2R or above, and 3R is the magic number. That's the best. But it doesn't really matter what R you have. What matters is you have to also check the win rate. What win rate do you have? And your win rate will determine what the minimum risk to reward per trade is going to be. And because of the win rate currently is quite high on this, I'm okay with risk, taking profits that is above 1. And if you have a 50% win rate, if your trades are 1R, you are break even, right? So if you have above 1R with 50% win rate, you are profitable. Maybe not that profitable, and that's why you want to have around 2R if you have a 50% win rate. But with a 2R on average per trade, you can actually have 40 or 45% win rate. If you have above 50% win rate, you can lower your risk to reward on per trade. So let's look at the confidences right here. Did it hit the RLZ 50? Yes. Engulfing candle? Yes. 1 hour stochastic RSI? No. Did not. But then on the 1 hour, look at that. It's like a beautiful, actually would have been a really good entry on the 1 hour, but it doesn't matter. So on the 1 hour, that's a no. And on the 4 hour, that's a yes. All right, let's move on. I'm keeping this setup on the chart, but I always remove the fib tool because it just gets messy. There's a breakdown. Another breakdown, and that's a hit of a resistance level right there. It did hit the 50 right here. See how it looks on the 1 hour. Yeah, I could have easily entered this trade based on the 1 hour right here, and look at how beautiful that would have been. Like that 1 hour bearish engulfing candle right here, and then all the way down here. That would have been risky, right? That would have been risky because we don't know about the 4 hour candle. So when I'm doing this, when I'm testing the system, I can't switch between the 1 hour and the 4 hour all the time. The entry has to be on the 4 hour, but that would have been a really good entry. Let's see how that would have worked out. Yeah, that would actually have been a stop bot, even if it's an entry, but this wouldn't have been a trade entry on the 4 hour. Let's continue. That a level? Yeah. All right. So we look at that one. That's a kind of like a break and retest of that level. If we add the fibs, we would add it from that one to this one. Makes sense. That's also 4 hour bearish engulfing candle. So would have entered here. Stops would probably be on those wicks, and then TP. So that's a 1.35 R winner. And it's a hit of the 50 and almost a 618. So that's a 1 yes on that one. Engulfing candle, yes. Is it also complement with the 1 hour? No. 4 hour, yes. So currently we have a 100% win rate, but it's only 3 trades, right? We want to look at the whole history of your JPY this whole year. What would be the win rate of using a extremely simple break and retest system? Like you don't even need the fib. Like you don't even need the fib, right? Like you look at these 3 trades right here. You add a horizontal level. Like just add a horizontal level on the breakdown area. Let's do this. Like, it's so simple, guys. It's so incredibly simple. As a rejection of a horizontal level. This is also a horizontal level right here. And then you have going on with XMR. Is it would have been filled on that one? Never mind. So that's also a break and retest of horizontal level. Now what's confluent with these entries right here? Well, if you look at the rejection here, everything what's confluent with these are a 4-hour bearish engulfing candle at the rejection at that level. So 4-hour bearish engulfing candle here, 4-hour bearish engulfing candle here, and a 4-hour bearish engulfing candle here, and that's everything. That's it. You don't even have to add the RLC. Like, you don't even have to add the fibs. You don't even have to add the stochastic RSI. These three trades here is basically would have been winners. Just based on that, just based on a very, very simple idea of a break and retest of a local horizontal level, ignoring the high time frames, everything like that. So when you're developing a system, you have to kind of like everything you know about trading, you have to be ready to test new things and kind of, you know, let everything go and test new things, because it's all about testing, right? It's all about testing to see what actually works. So let's continue here. But now, you know, with that in mind, when you do add the indicators, well, you look at the difference on NCD USD. It's a 40% win rate using this clear approach. But then when you add the indicators, it's an 80% win rate. So like, yes, obviously it's beneficial to use, you know, look for confidences. But what I'm saying is you don't have to. Breakdown. Now it's kind of quite simple. We want to see price come up and test that breakdown area, right? And it's testing it right here. And there's no confirmation here. No confirmation. Break again. See if we get a retest. Or is it's that level? So I would love to have entered that one, but it's obviously like there's no. What I have to do here, if I'm entering this one, because you know this is just a beautiful break and retest of that level, but I'm not sure I would have entered this one when doing, you know, my live trading, because you look at that and then the next candle, maybe if you go to the 1 hour, that would be conflict with the stochastics RSI as well. Look at the 1 hour. Yeah, actually maybe I would, but it would not be a bullish engulfing candle. Well, I guess theoretically this is an engulfing candle, but not really what I'm looking for. You want that bullish engulfing candle to be significantly bigger, just to like engulf a lot of the price action, which is not happening right here. So let's mark this as not having a engulfing candle, which is not very normal. So to these highs, that would be 1.83 our trade. Let's see, that would be, would it be the reload zone or the 50? Yes, it is. So the win rate, like, it's 1.83. 1.83. It's the reload zone. There's no engulfing. The 1 hour stochastic RSI was a yes. What about the 4 hour stochastic RSI? And that is a yes as well. I'm thinking I'm gonna try to do this a little bit quicker so we can get to the end of this. Like right now, it's surprisingly good results. You know, 100% win rate over the course of 4 trades, and it is not. It's 4 trades. What's interesting is if I have 10 more back testing, like 10 more back tests done on 10 more pairs, what I then do is I combine the results of this spreadsheet with this spreadsheet into this spreadsheet, which will be duplicated and named results. That's where we get the most important data, right? All right, so let's continue. So I'm going to try to be a little bit quicker here to make sure we do cover the whole a whole year worth of backtesting data on this live stream right here. So okay, so we definitely have a level here, right? Put the fibs on here. Hitting the reload zone, yes. Engulfing candle, everything kind of looks fine here. Now I don't want, like, I probably don't want this to trade all the way down here, right? And it looks just really wrong, this one right here. However, I'm thinking down to like these lows here and that structure down here. So there's definitely some discretion involved with TPing here, because I mean, honestly, down here would have been a very good trade, but I don't really have, I haven't set any rules for trade management or anything like that. So let's try to keep it, let's try to keep the take profits small. We're only really interested mostly in the entry triggers. So let's see if we can work on a better take profit strategy at a later stage. All right, so that hit absolutely beautiful. It's crazy. All right, 1.66. God damn it, guys. Maybe this is a really good strategy. It's crazy though, because this is like, it's too simple. I think we're just lucky here. Right, so RLZ, yes. Engulfing candle, yes. 4 hour, yes. 1 hour. What's about the 1 hour? What's happening on the 1 hour? No, it's nothing on the 1 hour. I'm getting some alerts from the indicator as well, so I'm going to check that out. Let's look at the alerts quickly. Short on DAX, which is not a good signal. We get a short on Euro 50, which is also not a good signal because it's in a major uptrend. So you see the difference between trading my regular swing trading system and the other one. Like this is, I know, like you look at this and it's overall all uptrend. You're getting a short and an overall uptrend. That's not a good trade. That's not a good trade. 80 CAD, 80 CHF, a really good ad. No, never mind. I don't like that one. Let's just quickly look at the open trade that we have on gold. I like this. I like this very much. Looks very good. What about NCD CHF? Kind of glad I exited that one because it's not looking very, very good. Let's go back to the backtesting. Backtesting here. So 4 hour, good winner on that one. What if it comes down to that low? That would have been amazing. It looks like it doesn't though. So that's a good call to have a tighter profit target on that one. But now it's just in a range. So we just want price to kind of break out here. The break and retest of that level would have been perfect. It did hit that level, but it's just a massive wick. So not very useful. Oh wow. Big move. So here we did have a retest right here. That the risk to reward would just be too low on that one. Let's continue. It's too big of a candle. All right, let's add a level right here. So it is hitting a level here, right? So break and retest right here. Hitting the reload zone. We'll probably enter on that candle right there. Stop below the wick. That would be a 1.28. Reload zone. Engulfing candle. Yeah, that's an engulfing candle. What about the 4-hour stochastic RSI? Yes, it looks good. And the 1-hour stochastic RSI is not looking good. As you might have noticed, trading is not, can be quite boring, because you have to do these, you have to test and test and test, right? All right, so looking at the 1 hour here, this is a very clean breakdown, right? It's a good support level, very clean breakdown, and that's the first retest right here. Now looking at the 1 hour, you have a beautiful entry trigger right here on that 1 hour bearish engulfing candle. Let's see how that looks on the 4 hour. Now, honestly, I think this is complicated, but I think I have, based on the 4 hour, I have to enter the trade like here, right? Stops here, and TP here. It's like 0.91. But if you look at the 1 hour, could have entered here. Would have then been a 1.97R trade. So let's see if I would have taken this. So let's say price is trading here. I'm looking at the 1 hour, and I'm saying, it's a really good level right here. Price comes up and tests that level, and then it would be on that 4-hour candle what I would be interested in taking this trade, but it would not be an agreement with the 4-hour. All right, that's not going to be a trade. This, however, would probably be a trade. Seems we now have our first loser, because I would be taking that trade. If the risk to reward is good, it should be above 1, right? Yeah, so that's going to be the first loser. It's going to be -1R loser. It did it hit the reload zone? Well, not the 50. Actually, well, it kind of did. So let's add that. Was there an engulfing candle? Yes. What about the 1-hour stochastics? Yes. And the 4-hour? No, not the 4-hour. Right. So 1 hour, yes, and 4-hour, no. All right, let's continue. That be a horizontal level? Well, if you extend price to the left, you could definitely argue that that would be a decent level like that, kinda. Let's see if it aligns with the fibs or anything. I think that would be a decent high and low. Kind of makes sense on a 4-hour. Even if I use that one, it would still be pretty good. That would be another loser. And you look at this trade right here, and I guess when you're looking at the local structure, the retest, you would want to have the retest really up here, which is actually happening right now. So let's see if we can. So first of all, let's mark that as a loser. So it's going to be -1R. RC, yes. Engulfing candle. Did we have an engulfing candle? Let's see, we did have an engulfing candle. 4-hour stochastics, yes. What about 1-hour stochastics? Yeah, so they both aligned here. Let's see if we get another one here on another entry on the 4-hour, which we did not. All right, so I'm at August now. It's going to take way too long to do all of this on the live stream. You're just going to be watching me doing this boring stuff right here. But what, like the whole purpose of this webinar today was to show you guys that it's actually not that complicated to try out and develop trading systems with this backtesting template right here. And it's completely free. You just have to sign up to the newsletter and it will be in the welcome message. And the trading room members have the link to the backtesting template in the pinned messages in the market updates channel. So check that out and start coming up with some ideas on what you want to test. Maybe take a pen and paper and start writing down some ideas and then testing it on whatever time frame you want to test the system on. And let me know what the results are, and let me know in the comments if you have tested that backtesting template and if you like these live streams where it might be a little bit boring, but this is really what trading is all about. And I'm going to continue updating this, and I'm going to continue testing this and updating you guys on the process of this system. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I see you all in the